Hey everyone, we're on live Thursday at noon Eastern as always. I want to welcome you here. You are going to learn how you can absolutely maintain your love relationships, even improve your family relationships and your friendships while you go all out for the bar. Not only is it critical to maintain relationships because you want them to be there when you get back from your hardcore bar studying, but it's actually absolutely easy to do it. And we're going to talk about how. You just need a little mindset shift. If you're joining me live now, go ahead and say hello. I'd love to see you interacting with me. We're live here in the Facebook group, and you can always get these videos, these trainings live every Thursday here in the Facebook group at noon Eastern. This is a chance for you to ask me questions about how this information I'm sharing with you applies directly to you. Let's go ahead and get started with the information. Obviously, one of the things that are taught in the bar exam world is that you need to cut yourself off from everybody, isolate, go into a closet. That only works for a segment of the bar exam takers. There's a whole other 3/4 of the population who thrives on relationships and community, having someone to talk to, having someone to vent to. If that's you, go ahead and let me know. That's me in the comments. Let me know you do need someone that you can talk to during bar exam season. Isolation does not work. The problem, though, is that we don't have the right people to talk with, and we often end up pouring our heart out to people who do not understand what it is to be experiencing what you're experiencing as a bar exam taker, and much less a repeat bar exam taker if that's your case or scenario. So, in today's live, I'm going to go over some preliminary steps, 3 basic things that you can do to go ahead and make sure that you get the family support that you really desire and want, and that your family members and loved ones also want. They want to be connected to you during this bar time. They don't want to feel like they're on the outside looking in your life. So we all want the same things here, but it's just a matter of finding that middle ground. And here's how to do it. Again, if you're live, go ahead and say hi. Let me know that you're here listening in the comments, and throw in any questions that you have about how this information applies to you directly. Now, if you're new in the group and you don't know me yet, I'm Jennifer Duclair, the bar exam mentor and attorney life coach. So I help you to shift your mind so that you can easily attain the goals that you're striving for. A lot of the reasons why you can't get your goals quickly or easily is because there are things in the mind, your thought patterns, behaviors, emotional patterns that need to change so that you can attain those goals more easily. Some people can attain the goals by pushing and striving for years and through sheer effort. But if you simply go inside and figure out how it is that you're thinking that needs to change, and if you get down to the emotional root of that thinking so that it can change for real and not just on a logical level, then you have paved the way to get to your goal with ease. And progress in life is simply a series of changes. How quickly those changes take place all depends on whether you're implementing your mindset shifts or not. Your mind is going to shift one way or another. But is it going to shift through going through hard times and finally deciding, okay, I got to look at things differently? Or are you going to be proactive and find out what it is that's already there that needs to change so that you can become the person that you need to become? Everyone needs to undergo mindset shifts, right? You don't have the mind of a high schooler. The mind that you had in high school worked for you in high school, and now you're a law grad and you have a completely different mindset from what you had in high school, right? You have to. And so to move to the next level, becoming an attorney, or the next level after that, having a happy marriage, or, starting a family, or getting raises, or climbing up the ladder in your firm, all of those require mindset shifts. And so that's what I'm about, is helping you to attain the mindset shifts that you need so that you can get to your next goal faster, easier, painlessly, and it has the happy side effect of resolving a lot of stuff that you've been spending energy trying to suppress in the background, stuff from your past, stuff that had always bothered you. Happy side effect of reaching your goals the mindset way is a lot of that stuff gets to be finally dropped and left behind. So the first mindset shift that we need to make sure that you have the family support that you're looking for is ask for what they can give, not for what you desire, right? I run into a lot of bar exam takers in the coaching programs, and I'm coaching them, and they want their family to be lovingly supportive and to embrace them with their warm, embrace, and give them all of this emotional support. And their family isn't built that way, right? Let's say you're dealing with parents. I'm a child of immigrant parents, and there are a lot of us are like this, who are first generation attorneys in our family, and our parents are looking at us, and they are all supportive, but in their way, the way that they were taught in their culture, or the way that they needed when they were coming up in life. And that is financial support or logistical support. Maybe they'll watch your kids for you if you have children that need watching, or they will work their fingers to the bone to provide and help pay for things that you need. But if you're looking for like warm hugs and kisses and everything's going to be okay, you're not going to get that from them, right? Then you have those who are looking for financial support from people who don't have that to give, right? They really can maybe be an emotional support for you. Maybe they can be a listening ear for you, but you're expecting them to support you materially, and that's hard for them. Or they have a judgment against that, okay? Or they believe that it's not in your best interest for them to do that for you because of their own upbringing and culture and the preconceived thoughts. So the first way to make sure that you get the support you need is to ask for the support that each person can give. Now, you might look at someone and say they can give me the money, but they're not, and so they must not love me, right? But they may have their own reasons why they feel they cannot give you the financial support. But maybe there's other support that is available from that corner. And if you could release demanding it in the way that you want it, and you could shift yourself to receiving it in the way that they can give, you can stop the battle and receive some fulfillment, as opposed to fighting an uphill battle and getting no fulfillment, plus being totally drained and unable to complete your bar exam. Does that make sense? Does that speak to you? Now, when we're inside, the coaching, I help you to understand what it is, like what the dynamics are. Like the one person who was in Beat the Bar, that I was able to help her to understand from the angle of her parents, like how much they truly were pouring into her. And she just never had seen it that way because she wanted the support in one way, and they were going to the ends of the earth to give it to her in a completely different way, right? And so once that breakthrough occurred, she felt so much better and felt more supported. And so the shift happened on a feelings side. She didn't have to change anyone. She just needed to change her thinking. And that's the kind of work that we do when we work together, is we move you along that path. It's impossible to change other people. And if that's the route that you're taking in order for you to feel good enough so that you can take and pass the bar, you're going to be on this path for a long time. But if you dive in and you learn to shift your thinking, totally different story. Now you can actually get some traction in life and get some forward moving progress in life, because you are changing what you do have control over: your thoughts, your emotions. And it is fulfilling, right? It is fulfilling. You feel the same way, right? And at the end of the day, it's the feeling that we're after. So if that speaks to you, go ahead and let me know. I love to see comments, even if you're watching on the replay. Let me know on the replay that, yes, that spoke to you, that meant something, that makes absolute sense, and you see a space where you could perhaps change the way that you are looking at things and that you are processing things. And if you need help to dive deeper in, stay on to the end, because I'm going to show you how you can get personal mindset shifts. Because here we talk about the broad categories, but everybody's personal situation is different, and I'll let you know how you can dive into your own personal situation. It's a special bonus that I've never given before, and it's only going to be available for today. So stick till the end so that you can get that announcement. Let me know where you are watching from, and say hi in the comments as you're joining us. If you're watching the replay, type in a hashtag replay. Let me know that you're watching. We're going to dive right into the next thing that you need to be able to do so that you can maintain and even improve your family and love relationships while you go all out for the bar. You absolutely can go all out for the bar and maintain or even improve your family relationships. And the second way how is, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've not, but it's definitely worth diving into. Pay attention to your family members, your loved ones, your children's love language. Pay attention to their love language. This is so important. I was literally coaching somebody else yesterday in Beat the Bar. Beat the Bar is our one-on-one coaching program. And she really, really wants to be there for her family, her children. And her way of doing it was spending quality time together, which obviously when you're studying for the bar exam, you don't have a lot of that, especially if you are studying for the bar exam, a single mother, and working full time. Right. And so, we had, obviously, you have to have the emotions discussion. Like, what are the emotions behind being a bad mother? But the very important part of this was understanding, like, maybe quality time is not what they actually need from you. And while you're forcing yourself to give quality time, you're coming off in such a way because you actually don't have the time to give. Do we consider what they may actually benefit from the most and then just do that, as opposed to forcing time on people, right? So what is the love language of your family member? Okay, or your loved one, the person that you want to stay close to. It might be words of affirmation, and they may feel wonderful just by getting a text message a day from you, or encouraging words, right? Or you spend 15 minutes listening to their problem and then you encourage them about it afterwards. That'll go a whole lot further than half baked 5 to 6 hours of being in their presence but not really paying attention to them because you're studying. They might not even need you around like that. Right? And meanwhile, because you're short on time and you're stressed out, you're barking at them. And if their love language is words of affirmation, now you've just damaged the relationship. It would have been better if you just stayed away. Find out what your loved one's love language is and implement that. It might take a whole lot less time and actually skyrocket the quality of your relationship by learning what their love language is and speaking it to them. If you don't know about love languages, I suggest you go look at the website 5lovelanguages.com so you can dive deeper into that and find out more about that. Does that create some space and relief? Let me know in the comments, right? This creates space. This creates relief. I totally see how this can help me improve my relationships while I actually dedicate most of my time to studying. My loved one didn't even need all that together time, right? They understand that you're going through things, but they also have emotional needs. And if their emotional needs are not based on time spent together, you can absolutely help them feel even more loved while you're busy studying for the bar than they did when you had lots of free time, actually. So try it. And after this last pointer, I'm going to tell you how you can get personal specific help for your particular situation. So if you've been looking for a way to get eyes on your problems, then stick through to the end of this video. The last thing is one that we start off with, but if you didn't learn the first two, then you might think this is the only resource you have, and then you might feel like you're unsupported, you're unloved, you're not getting what you need, nobody understands you, nobody's listening to you, nobody's helping you. But now that you've gotten the first two tips, hopefully now you can see where you have a wide open door to get all the love and support that you need. Then you get to the third one where, yes, you do actually ask for what you need, because people cannot read your mind, right? But here's the part where the coaching comes in. Here's the part where when you get on the phone with me and we talk about what your actual situation is, you start to understand that like all your needs can be met, because it's really not that complicated. Here's the part. This is it. Listen closely. A lot of the times, the thing that you think you need is just a band-aid for discomfort that you're feeling inside. So you may think that you need to pass the bar right away because you're afraid, and you're afraid of something, but you don't know what you're afraid of. That's when we get together and we talk about what it is that you might be concerned about, right? And we start digging and we start digging and we start digging till we hit the nail on the head. And one example of this is I was speaking to somebody in Journey. She's not in Beat the Bar. She's in Journey. And she had a couple bonus calls, a couple one-on-one calls, because she signed up during the challenge. And so we were talking, and we got into this urgency about, well, it actually started out with my parents keep interrupting me, asking me to go do something for them. That's where we started. Okay, this is why mindset work is so crucial, because we get from like the surface problem to the real problem. Okay, so what's the problem with, okay, your parents keep interrupting you, can't you say no? Well, no, I can't say no. Well, why can't you say no? Now we're getting somewhere. So the deeper issue is, well, they've been supporting me so much. If I say no, if you say no, what? This is me asking questions, right? This is how this mindset coaching works, because we're afraid to go there on our own. And you have to have somebody kind of pull you to go look in the closet and realize there's a monster in the closet. So I ask, if you say no, then what? And the fear was, well, they'll get mad at me and they might cut me off. Ah, now we're getting somewhere. So first of all, the logic. Will your grown parents get mad at you because you say no? Maybe for some people that is a real possibility, and other people it's like, no, they're grown, they can take care of their own hurt feelings, they'll get over it, they understand that I'm doing something important, right? But let's say, for example, that the fear was real and they might cut you off. Then what? Well, then I'd have to figure out how to like take care of everything myself. Well, can't you? I mean, you're working full time. You know what I mean? And it came down to the issue of she simply had not ever contemplated putting together a budget, supporting her own household, all that stuff, because she'd been very supported by her family in financial ways. But it turns out that the thing that she was afraid of wasn't real. If they cut you off, like, you make more than enough money to take care of yourself, right? And so that was no longer a fear. But she had to sit down and really think about it step by step by step by step to get to that end point. And it's getting to that point. Like, how many people are going to sit there and literally be able to go checkpoint step by step by step to get them from the surface problem, my parents keep interrupting me, asking me to do them favors, to the ultimate issue, which is I'm scared to death of living on my own? Like, how many people would trace that from beginning to end? It sounds easy as I do it here, but that's the part that I do as a coach, right? Is I bring you from point A to point B, what the real problem is, and then we just resolve the real problem, right? And then at the end of the day, what's left is the emotions of the rejection from being cut off. Now, most of the times when you get from point A to point B in the question answer process, you come to understand that they're not really going to cut me off. And so that emotion is alleviated. And then we get to the logistical problem that, that part of you was afraid of. We solved that. That whole basket of issues is now set aside. And now you can say no with ease. So instead of thinking that you need to ask your parents to stop asking you for favors, you actually got down to what was really bothering you. When they ask you for favors, you had to choose between your future goal and the prospect of getting cut off and rejected by them. Once you worked off that fear of being cut off and being rejected, then it's easy for you to choose to support your future goal by saying no, because you're no longer afraid of the consequences of saying no. We worked that out together in our coaching. Get that? And so a lot of times you do, yes, ask for what you need, but there is a point where you have to stop and ask yourself, do I really need this from them, or is this an inner work to do? Now, if you want to find out the difference between, am I asking them for something that I truly need from outside of me that only they can give, or am I asking them to do something that will alleviate an inner discomfort that I have going on? If you need to make that differentiation, this is what I have for you for today only. So we go live on Thursdays at noon Eastern. So you can always look for Thursdays to get some sort of a bonus, a prize, something, right? So for today only until midnight Eastern, I'm actually I am covering the cost of a one-on-one consult with me. It's 30 minutes. We get to talk about what your specific problems are and how you need to bridge the gap from where you are to where you need to be so that you can study in peace and pass the bar. Today only. I'm going to remove the payment step, and you get to go ahead and book 30 minutes to talk with me. Now, you can book it for any time in the future, but you have to book it today. I'm going to put that link in the comments here below so that you can have it. And today, Thursday, let's see what's the date here, March 12th, until midnight Eastern, you will be able to go ahead and book that. And I'm going to put the link in the comments for you right now. And I'm also looking for any questions. Did that make sense? Did that speak to you? Is there someone else who needs this? Go ahead and find someone else who needs this and tell them to come in here and watch this video and take advantage of this opportunity, because this is rare. I've never taken down the covered the costs for those consultations like that ever since we started charging for consultations, because quite frankly the fact is that you come and you talk with me and you leave 30 minutes later and your entire bar study life has changed for the better, obviously, and you're doing much better just from a 30-minute talk than you ever did on your own. And so people get massive benefits just from that simple 30-minute talk. So because of that, we said, well, hey, why not make it a paid consultation so that when people get in here, they get what they need and they can go. And if they want to work deeper and they want to work further, then we give the opportunities for that. And that's what we decided to go ahead and do. And that's what we have been doing. And it's been working. It's been helpful. And if there are opportunities for that, I'm putting the comment right here so that you can go ahead today only, book a 30-minute call with me for any time in the future, but you get to book it today until midnight. So if you're watching the replay and it's still Thursday, March 12th, go find that link and book, right? Go ahead and find that link and book so that you can get yourself a free 30-minute phone call where we will help you find out specifically what's going on in your life and what you need to do to get on the other side of that so that you can pass the bar with ease and grace. All right, that's what we got for you. See you next Thursday at noon Eastern.